date is July 19th, 2017. Time is 16:23 hours. I'm Investigator Hunnicky. Investigator Boxland's in here. Also in the room we have, Brad, you want to say your first name, middle name, and last name for me?
Bradley John Sears.
Your date of birth?
12/28/1990.
Before we go any further, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney, talk to one. Before we go any further, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be provided to you. And you would have the ability to talk to an attorney tomorrow at some time. So do you understand the rights I've explained to you?
Yes, I do.
Having these rights in mind, would you speak to us right now?
Yeah, no problem.
And then what we've also talked about prior to this, I also had Brad listen to the recording, which we'll touch on, but it was on my recorder, so I can talk about now. But what we've talked about, Brad has talked about being cooperating with Anoka County, an investigator up there. I've talked to Stephen O'Keefe, the Goodhue County attorney, and we've come to the agreement that this statement would only be used against you if you do not fulfill, say, the terms of the agreement, which basically is if you get out of jail here at some point, never to contact investigator solely, this statement could be used against you. So
Solberg.
Solberg.
Just for, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't ever get out, talk to him, you don't get stuff going,
Yeah.
you realize what we're about to talk about could be used against you.
Absolutely.
And others if you never come through with this.
Absolutely.
Okay. But if you fulfill your terms, you do everything that you needed to do, we're not going to use it against you and or others.
Okay.
That sound fair?
That sounds fair.
Okay, and you understand all that? Any questions on that before we go?
Do I need to clarify that what I'll be doing will help benefit myself and Ashley predominantly? I cannot be...
That we will have to work out later with the prosecutor. For the fact I haven't had the chance to talk to Ashley, I'm going to have to, with Anoka County, all that's going to have to kind of be hashed out.
Okay.
Because if all of a sudden, I would say this, there's the realization that, too, and I'll say this, that say you end up with, I'll just use the lowest end charge I can think of, a 5th-degree sale charge was tacked on you. But you decided, no, you know what, I don't think I'm guilty of any of this. Then that kind of takes deals away because then you have to have a full trial. And then they have to charge you with what you got charged for. So
Right.
you have will always have the ability to have a trial in front of a jury of your peers or a bench trial. I just can't speak to Ashley right now because I'm just incapable of doing that. I can't promise any deals for her.
So if we come back down after
Yeah, we can figure that out later.
Okay.
It's like, too, I kind of talked to you, I can't make you, part of what we do in a lot of recordings, we make you any promises, and I'll put that on tape. The promises we've made is you get a whole bunch of stuff done. The investigators up there, we'll go and present it to our attorney and go, here's everything he did, and it'll be up to the discretion of the prosecutor. So we can't, I can't say, but that's the difference between maybe one person going to jail and 20 people kind of going to jail, too.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of some of that deal.
Okay.
All right. Good to go get a statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so here's what we're going to talk about. I'll basically make it easy. We'll start on June 18th. This was a Sunday this year. I played a phone call for you in which you talked to 2 different people. One of the people, I guess I asked you about, I got here a picture in front of her. I know it to be Ashley Ann Stanley, date of birth of February 21st, 1991. What's Ashley's relationship with you, or how do you know her?
Girlfriend.
And how long have she been your girlfriend?
Just about 4 or 5 months. 4 months.
Okay. And from, I guess, looking at jail logs, phone call stuff, you guys talked quite a bit then.
Absolutely.
And had been.
Yeah.
And from that jail phone call we listened to, it sounds like at some point she was going through some Facebook stuff.
Yep.
From that recording, do you just kind of want to lay out how it worked in your mind?
Yeah. She has to get on my Facebook, just simply check my messages, and she was listing off the number of people who would message me on Facebook, and the one person I told her to respond to was Jeremy Shoemaker.
And how did you know Jeremy?
From prison beforehand.
Okay, so you had served time at what prison were you at?
Faribault.
Okay.
All of 2016. Well, not all of it, but the end of 2016, the beginning of 17.
Okay.
And we had discussed some dealings to potentially be had. And when I messaged him back on Facebook, is when he wanted to put those plans into motion.
Good. So the phone call I played for you, so you're kind of putting those plans in motion. At some point on there, you had mentioned one of your good friends was going to come down with you.
Yeah.
And the name I heard was a Curtis Gebhardt.
Correct.
You probably don't know Curtis's name or full name, date of birth, and all that, I'm guessing.
Curtis Lee Gebhardt.
You know his date of birth?
I want to say, I don't, 81 though. I believe 81.
Okay, close, 1980.
81.
That look like Curtis there?
Yeah, it's definitely a goofy ass.
Okay. How long have you known Curtis?
Years.
Okay. Long time.
Yeah.
Long time friend?
Yep.
Okay. So it sounds like part of the deal was, listen to the phone calls, Curtis and Ashley then. The deal was they were both going to come down and they were going to do the deal with Jeremy.
Yep.
Okay. At some point then on the phone call, it kind of got laid out, cows, tires, cars, they were all being talked about, but was your understanding it was to sell a pound of meth and Jeremy was going to bring 8,000?
I don't think there was an established.
You didn't know a number?
Yep.
Okay. And it sounds like there was maybe talk of some more coming down. I'm guessing more was with him for the fact that we scraped a lot off the ground.
In her complaint, I got a question about that too. In her complaint, it said that they did not recover the $8,000.
The 8,000 was never in their hand.
So it never was recovered from.
Never was
All right.
in there.
We never had the money get transferred.
Transferred to them.
Okay, that's okay.
Basically what happened is we were confident enough, and once they showed up in an area, that we
It was
could
just can take it.
we can just take them off then.
Yeah.
Yep. And then in the hopes of reducing the chance of,
A casualty.
yeah.
Absolutely, I understand.
Yep, so that's why that went. So this is the car. I got a picture of it's a Minnesota 910 Union Atom Boy licensed in Minnesota. And I kind of told you this car lists back to an address out of Cambridge. You had said you were maybe familiar with this car. I think you were maybe even stopped in it
Yep.
a couple times. Whose car do you know this to be?
Marsha. I don't know her last name.
Okay, she live,
Carriage Drive.
know the address off the top of your head, but
Something 334.
okay, so for her, that was just a car that you guys would borrow sometimes. Is that truly her car?
Yeah, it's truly Marsha's car. She's the owner of the house that we were living at.
Okay, was that a house you were renting at, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you'd borrow it sometimes, but yeah, I think when I told you that was the car they were in, you were a little bit surprised by that.
Didn't
You
even
didn't?
know that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said they might have been, they'd even been talks of an Uber or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. After, so obviously this deal kind of gets set in place, you know what was going to happen the next day. When's the first you kind of learned that maybe it didn't go the right way?
We were locked down from 2 to 4 in Anoka. I knew in my stomach before we even came out at 4 o'clock that something was going. I tried to call Ashley's phone. Ashley's phone was off, straight off, and Curtis' phone just kept ringing through and through and through and through.
Okay.
I knew immediately.
Did you ever hear anything like, so I think I had enlightened you that a van was stolen. You said Ashley made comments about Curtis ditched her in the woods.
Yeah, later on, she told me, like, if you were to continue listening to the phones up there, they go to play out, like, asking me if I watched the news. And I said, yeah, why? I said, because somebody crashed a van into a power pole or something and took out power. And I'm like, wow, I figured, put 2 and 2 together. But I could hear Curtis in the background. Like, they let the canines out on him 3 times. They got away. That must be a beast. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So that's how I put that together. And then didn't know anything about it until after her complaint, and then put the pieces together.
Okay. I won't ask that. Give me a second here. And you've been incarcerated in Anoka County. think I covered it all, but you would agree the recording I played for you, that's you on there.
Yeah.
Would Jeremy Wiley also use that number? Because that's the number that automatically comes up, or is that just...
No, I used his because I had money on his books. Jerry Wiley had absolutely no knowledge of anything like this.
Yep.
And he actually even specified, make sure he's on a drug case as well. Don't say anything on my pen. They're probably listening. I'm not. I should have listened, my friend.
And I guess some of this I already know, but did Ashley say Curtis was driving?
Yeah.
She talked about him taking off.
Yeah, and that's another thing I told her. Like, what, all this code, all this shit. Great. The next morning when I talked to you on the phone, you gave me a fucking play-by-play on what the fuck happened. What makes you think? You know what I mean?
She said Curtis was driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing
Yeah.
what she had told you or
Yeah.
had told you. Okay. Did she give you any that day after, or even now? Has she given you any reason? Did she ever tell you how much they had?
Well, the
In
plan
total?
was. Now, let me clarify something on the agreement that this cannot be used even if she tries to go to trial. This cannot be used.
You
If
fulfill
I'm
your
doing
end.
what-
You fulfill your end, yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
really, we got to have weight in hand. I mean, we can't charge her any higher, to be honest with you, in state court. I mean, we can't go higher than a first degree at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at what we're at.
Yep.
So, no, it's just, for me, it's maybe more curiosity. And I think I got can you think of anything more for a tape statement?
Did she say did they say they ditched that car in Wanamingo? And did they say how they got from Wanamingo back up to...
They said they ditched the car. They said they ditched the car, and some old lady randomly helped her. Curtis was gone. She didn't see Curtis again. They were hiding in the woods. And then, she was freezing. She was shivering. Curtis said, "Stay here. I'm gonna go get blankets, or if I have to break into the house to get blankets, I'm gonna try to go get a car." And I don't know if she moved or what, but Kurt never came back, which wouldn't have happened. He would have went back for her, and then the next morning she was just walking, and some old lady helped her.
Yep.
Okay.
She said it was the whole next morning.
She said it was pretty late.
Yep.
They ditched out pretty late. Yeah.
All right, I think that should be, anything else you can think of?
Should do it.